Hey there, welcome back and thanks for joining me. All my supplies and equipment are down in the description box below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Hit that notification bell. Likes, comments, and questions are always welcomed. So, first thing I want to show you, you notice none of my stuff's out. I want to show you this. Now, this is pretty cool. So, this is the Tim Holtz media mat. It's glass. So it's very cool. You can use anything on it. Scrape it off if you have to, if it's acrylic. But with watercolor, I use this as my palette, my mixing spot. You can put samples in each of these. You can put watercolor in each of these if you wanted to. I love it. I absolutely, when I got this, I was like, this is awesome. I do my alcohol inks on it. I squirt it with alcohol, wipe it off, and it's clean. So, and y'all notice if you've watched my alcohol inks, I've got my stuff listed over here, and I've usually got drops of the color here, so you can kind of see what my palette looks like. So, yeah, that is awesome for that. You can, of course, write on it with a Sharpie. Remember, Sharpies are alcohol ink, but this is a watercolor video. So, this is for a class. I'm doing a class. Did not realize I have never done a butterfly. Oh my goodness. So, that's what we're doing today. So, this is my small palette. This one, I do like. You know, you can fold it up, travel with it, which is why I've got this one. My other one's just a little too big. So, I use it for more home stuff. And I've got it upstairs where I watch TV because I want to hang out with my hubby. This one I have downstairs, and it's got this little tray I never use because I guess I have to wipe it out. I don't know why I don't use it. I just don't. I'll use something like this, and that's my little mixing palette so I can see. The biggest thing as I like to do is take my color, put it here with water, and I can see how dark or light it's going to be. That's the whole purpose in having this. Always, always, always make a swatch. Understand the color you're picking. Okay? Go ahead and make it really dark and then let it fade out with water so you can see the darkest part, you can see the lightest part. You understand what colors you're dealing with here. See, all of them's got the very dark, all of them's got the very light. So if I'm wanting this color, I kind of know what to do to get that color. I go to the matching square, and I know if I want that middle color, I'm going to have to add some more water to it. If I want the darkest, I don't add much water. So always make a swatch, and it will help you more than you know. So every one of my little palettes have this. Even, let me show you. So I know y'all are kind of going, get on with this, but no, I want to show you. So here's a mid-size travel palette. There. No, it goes like this. So there's a mid-size travel palette. Here's brushes that just need water. You put water in them. I did that on an airplane. That was pretty cool. Oh my goodness. You see what this is? Nope, it's that. How stinking cute is that? So these are half trays. These are full trays. See the difference in size? Yeah, this is like extreme. This is travel. I mean, have me a little paper. Here's a brush. You got to look at this. Is that not crazy? So yeah, I am ready to go at a moment's notice. If you're like, hey, let's go. Okay, we'll take some paints. Here's a little one. Yeah. So, this, and some paper. I am ready to go. Okay. Just wanted to show you that. Not sure why I wanted to show you that, but I did want to show you that. Let's get rolling on this. And I guess I wanted to let you know. I don't want to move junk out of the way. I wanted to just say, hey, anything you come up with, get out there and paint, have fun, enjoy. But these are some of my favorite things for right now. They may change. All right, so I'm going to scoot this over. You're not going to really see me getting into the paints, but you'll see me mixing them. So let's get rolling with this. I'm going to get paper. Now, I do not buy this in this size. I cut this. So a 9 by 12 will give me the 6. So it's like, I cut it in half. I have 2 6s this way. Is that right? Is that right? Yes, it is right. So this is 12. And then by 9, you split 9 to 4.5. You've got 4 cards without wasting your paper. So this is what I do. So I've got that. I'm going to use this as just kind of a background thing. This is what we're going to do. I went ahead and draw it out. I'm like, this is for a class. And at first, they're going to need this. After a couple times, you do not need this anymore. You can do it. Whether you make it this shape or not, you can make it solid, you can make it, you know, whatever you want to do. This is just a guide. What we can do here is you've got a light box, and mine's upstairs. Put the light box, the pattern, and this one on top of it. If nothing else, you can hold it up to the light. If it's daylight, you can hold it up to a window. Put this one against the window, put this one on top, and lightly trace it. Now you want to lightly. Don't get heavy-handed here. Do it lightly. After you do it a couple times, you'll be able to spot this in and do it without looking. So have fun with that. So let me see. Let me put that right there. So we kind of know what we're doing. Okay, so I have got a number 6 here. That's going to be what I work with. You can go smaller, but it's probably just as easy. So if you take this, put this over it, kind of get it centered how you want it. And then and I can see with the light hitting behind this. And just kind of trace it out. After you do a couple of these, you'll be able to do this. This is not going to be a biggie. That's how I taught my kids how they can draw. I'm like, trace it a few times. Get the feel of it. Understand it on your paper. And then they got to where they could just draw it because they had muscle memory, maybe. I don't know if that's what you want to call it. But I had one that could draw. Now, there is ballpark. Can you see that? You don't have to do this. Now, sometimes I will still do my butterfly where I won't do my flower, because that's, again, you learn where to put it. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and draw it out. All right, first thing I want to do, make sure you got some paper towel close by. There we go. Got some paper towel. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some water in my purple. I'm going to put some water in my blue. I'm going to put some water in my pink. And a couple of pinks, because I got one really pink, and then I've got a darker pink, kind of maroony. And my green. There we go. Now, if your water's a tad dirty, congratulations, because you're going to see putting the water on here. Mine is not. I just changed it. So I'm going to have to use the light to kind of gauge where I'm at, and you're not going to be able to see it on camera. Let's muddy up our water a little bit. Let's see if we can't do that. Not so much yet. So dirty water is not always a bad thing. Now see, I can kind of start to see that, so I can see where I've got it. Now, as I look with the reflection in the light, I'm going to see that it's glistening, because the first swipe of that, it soaked it right in. This has now got a good glisten on top of it. That's what you want. So go in here and get your dark color. And I'm not sure which one we're going to do first. Let's do purple. Let's do purple down here. I'm going to touch it. Now see how it kind of wants to leave, but it kind of doesn't. I'm going to start doing this because I want to manipulate it a little bit. You can either do that and it has a little ball at the end, or you can come in and I just do that. If it doesn't take off and run, then I'll do this. Rinse that a little bit. I'm going to go in and hit my blue. Make sure my glistening's still there. All right, see that one jumps a little bit more, and that's good. That's what I like. That's the fun part to watch. And I kind of manipulate it down to something like that. Now, trust this process, okay? Trust it. Because that looks like a hot mess and it looks ugly. And so I'm going to do this. I'm not going to let these two touch. If you think they're going to touch, do something else and let this dry. I'm going to leave a space and go ahead and do these colors. Now I got that kind of wet-ish, so I'm going to just dab off on my paper towel. Dab up this because I don't want it sitting, I just want it glistening. And again, depending on what paper you use, that rule will kind of change. So play with it, learn your paper. This is not a very rough paper, it's more smooth, so it's not going to, I don't think, take as much. So let's go here and get some purple. I know there are a lot of information at y'all, but depending on where you're at, some of it'll make sense. Now, that is our, and you can see how it's starting to bleed in. That's okay. Some of them I have that have like clear through here, others do not. It really doesn't matter. All right, now we're going to go into our pink, and I'm going to do the lighter pink. And I'm going to come up here because I really want to control how light this one is. So I'm going to get that a little watered down. Now very quickly this soaks in. So I go back over it a little bit. You can do this two ways. You can let this dry, or all right, I'm gonna show you two different ones. So this is pretty wet. You can go with the wet on wet. And I'm gonna go to the darker one and just kind of start touching it and letting it. This is going to be like this style. And you don't have to do that much. You can like lessen that up if you want. Now, a lot of times I'm doing this, you know, 4, 5, 6, 10 of these at a time. So you would leave this and do all of the wings. You would do all of the flowers. But with this, we're not. So see how that's kind of blended? Let this dry and I'll show you what else you can do. All right, let's go leaves. So we'll do a sap green. This side, I'll do like this. And this one, we're going to do the other way. I like both these styles. I really don't have one that I like over the other. It just really depends on my mood. All right. Then we'll get this a little dry. All right, so understand when you kind of dry or get wet, watercolor paper likes to bend. Just bow it back the way it should be, and let's go. So you see how this is more blended, just very gradual. This one's a little blotchy, but it's still the same. What I like to do, this I'm leaving. This one, I'm going to go a little bit darker, and I'm going to go 2/3 of the leaf. Something like that. We're leaving that. On the pink, let's go 2/3. This I just refer to as a very chunky, piecey, very piecey. Oddly enough, though, when you visually look at this when it's done, they kind of have the same effect. You kind of understand what's going on. It's just definitely a different style. All right, let's get that dry. Let's do this one a little bit darker. And we're not going over near as much. So you get to see all three colors. And then with the green, we're going to do the same. There we go. Now let's get that dry. Now when this was all wet, you could have done the yellow and let it bleed into it. I did not do it here, just not to complicate things. Now, that's pretty dark. You could go back over here very wet and add some dark. So let's do that. Again, very wet. I put my paint down. Oops, I got in purple. Huh? Don't do that. Now you're thinking, no, that's going to make it piecey. Nope, hold on. We're just going to go over with some water and blend this area. And then go in and really drop it in like this. While it's wet from the first time, you can go in and keep dropping in the darker, like you're doing the dark here. Keep doing it like that. And I've just made all this wet. There. Okay. Now let's do the darkest of the greens. As straight green as I can get it. There. Now, the reason I like doing a multiple of these, because you see how many times I'm rinsing? You don't do that as much when you do a few of these at a time. You'll keep using that same color. All right. So see the difference in the petals? It's whatever you like doing, but those are the two ways to do those. So let's get some water. Go in here and get our yellow. And I'm going to get a lot of yellow on that. I'm not watering it down a lot. And I'm just going to dab like that. All right. Get your paper all straightened out there. All right, so you see the difference. This one is a little chunkier. That could have been blended a little bit more. This one definitely is blended. This one is definitely piecey. This one's piecey. These are blended. Sharpie, alcohol ink marker. This is where some of you may have like, what? But yeah, you can do this. Now take that along the petals, or not petals, wings. And you can do that, if you want to do this in a turquoise or something like that, do it. This is just me. This is just how I'm doing it. All right, we're going to put a design up here. You can do whatever design you want. This is the one I'm doing for here. So I'm going to go through and kind of sketch out all the way around like this. Like that. Now in these, I'm going to come down. So I'm going to do actually something like this. This is about the easiest way to draw this out. I'm going to do another one through here. Like that. Then I'm going to do this and just make it more piecey, where there's not a smooth line. Now I'm doing this quick, so this is just showing you how you can do it. Any design you see, this is kind of, you draw it out and then go back on top of it. And put your squigglies. There. And then same thing for here. If you don't want to outline it in the thick, get a thinner pen and then just put these pieces in there. So like I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to go like that. Have a little line there and there. That's all I'm going to do. That's about the simplest. If you want to make these a little more arched, come down like that. So, you see how that changed? Go through and do this one. So, see how easy that was? All right, so that was a Sharpie. All right, now, again, this is something, if you want to do, you can leave it. You can sketch along the exact perimeter of it. You know me, I like to go outside the box because I can. In this situation, not always. I draw outside the color. This is what I mean. I may do that for a petal, do that for a petal. See what I'm saying? Now you've got the outline is a picture, the colored part is a picture. And then I will do my leaf the same way. And I kind of do a scribbly thing. And if you knew how long it took me to get to this spot where I could just have fun and do that. So those are the two ways. Either actually outline it, and I wouldn't try to solidly, I would sketch it. Or you could really just go bonkers and go completely outside and add something, a lot of fun to it. Now, if you want to splatter, you know I do. Just get you a brush, any brush, really wet it down. Pick your color you want to splatter in. Let's do this one. Really water it down because you want this to not be real thick. Grab something to hit your brush on and just do that. All right, there is that. Now, here's our tape. Your card opens up this way. I just take it, run a bead down. And don't worry that your card's wonky because the card is going to just calm it down. I go in it from the side. It just seems to peel easier than trying the very tip of it. I say that. There we go. There's my card. There you go. There's your card, blank inside. Of course, stamp or sign your card. So I do that, and there you go. So I hope this gave you some good ideas. I hope you have bunches and bunches of fun with these. All right, y'all go have fun.